Welcome to another edition of Conversations with CBS Sports, where we sit down with some of the greatest names in sports as well as some of the heaviest hitters in Hollywood. I'm your host, James Brown, and today we are here with David Wright. If I have the numbers correct, 5 All-Star games, 2 Gold Gloves. Any achievement, one or the other, you relish more?
You know, I want to win, especially here in New York. I've had a chance, and it really is disappointing to say that, in the 7 years that I've been here, we've been in the playoffs once. We were a couple runs away from going to the World Series in 2006, and, you look back on that, and that's what pushes you, that's what motivates you, because, to be so close and to not have the success that we thought we were going to have after that, it's disappointing, but also it provides a tremendous motivation, moving forward to get back to that, because there's nothing better than playoff baseball, in October in New York. Just an incredible feeling and something that, I want to get back to at a yearly basis.
So clearly, you and Jose Reyes will be the ones that the youngsters and others are looking to lead the charge to get to that winning formula that you guys want so badly. Are there any signs of encouragement in place that you can take heart from?
For me, I think I've always gone about my business with saying, what doesn't kill you makes you a little bit stronger. And we've had our ups and downs and, been through some good times and some ugly times here and quite a few of the ugly. I think it's made me a stronger person. I think it's made us a stronger team. I desperately want to get back to, being that team that I think we're capable of, being that organization that I think we're capable of. And, I see a lot of good things ahead.
I mentioned you and Jose Reyes. Collectively, you guys are the face of the Mets. Are you optimistic, and I understand how things go, that will continue? I
don't want to be, a guy that, I understand he's earned the right to explore that free agent market. I want him back. I think New York wants him back. So hopefully we can get something worked out. But I'll do everything I can to recruit him, to get him to stay.
Apparently you enjoy a really wonderful relationship with the fans. In the number of sports that I've covered, believe it or not, hockey players seem to have, as tough as they are on the ice, they really get it in terms of being great ambassadors with the fans in order to bond like NASCAR drivers, if you will. So where did it come from with you that you have this kind of relationship with fans?
Well, I think that I've been lucky. New York has kind of accepted me, as part of the family, which is tough to do. I came through our minor league system. I grew up kind of a displaced Mets fan in Norfolk because of our AAA team. I didn't necessarily root for, the Mets per se, but I rooted for our AAA team, and then it was cool to flip on the TV and see those same people I saw play in person, play on TV for the New York Mets. So, grew up a Mets fan. I think that the New York fans get that. They see the passion that I have for the game. They see the passion that I have, for wanting to help this organization win. And like I said, we've been through some good times, some bad times together, and at the end of the day, they've stuck right next to me, and that's something that I really appreciate, especially from the New York fans.
I mentioned this to you before, but and I loved your response. Unfortunately, the Madoff scandal and knowing the team ownership took some heavy losses as a result of that. Did that impact you guys down at the clubhouse level, or anything that was discernibly noticeable from your standpoint?
We talked about it, and it's the God's honest truth that, we had dozens and dozens and dozens of, reporters in the clubhouse, after all of this broke. And, I remember everybody asking me, and my answer was, I'm not smart enough to understand really what's going on, with the whole thing. And I could probably count on one finger how many guys in baseball probably are. So to me, you had to answer a few questions about it. Obviously the Wilpon family's been great to me. I'm going to have their backs. With that being said, hopefully it doesn't, affect, the baseball part of it, because, as players, you just want to go out there and play and compete.
And the check didn't bounce.
No. Thank goodness.
So your attitude about instant replay?
For me, the instant replay, I guess ultimately you want to get the call right, but at the same time, you don't want to mess with the pace of game too much. So I think if there's a way that, that makes sure that we get those important calls right, but not prohibit, the pace of game, then I'm all for it.
So limited use, special situations in your mind?
Sure, or something where there's an official somewhere else, and you kind of use the the system that maybe college football uses, where they buzz down or something like that, something to kind of speed up the game, because baseball is long already. and you don't want to be sitting around, too much idle.
The format that's in place right now with the All-Star game, where whichever team wins, that team will get home field. Heavens, the Texas Rangers had the far better record, but the Cardinals got home field. You okay with that?
For me, I really like the system that's in. And in baseball, and like a lot of other sports, you get hot at the right time, and you do what the Cardinals did this year. They kind of came on late in September. They carried that into the playoffs, and I bet the Cardinals are very happy that the All-Star game, the playoff advantage goes to, the winner of that, because I truly think that, Game 7 went to whatever team was at home, and that happened to be the Cardinals.
And when you read the background of superstars, no matter what the sport is, there's always something that kind of distinguishes them, which makes them an elite level athlete. And I read that you probably spent more time in the batter's box when you were in high school and never seemingly lost that work ethic, even to this point now. Where did you get that serious work ethic from?
Well, for me, my parents, they instilled it in me. I realized, at a relatively young age that I wasn't the best athlete out there on the field, that I wasn't, the strongest, the quickest, didn't have the most talent. But the way I figured that I wanted to succeed was I'd outwork the competition, that I'd go out there and work a little bit harder than the next person, so that, when my career's all over and done and I got my head on my pillow at night, I can look back and say, you know what, I became the best player that I could, even if it wasn't at the highest level, but I did everything that I could do to maximize my talent throughout the course of my career.
David Wright's competitive spirit has elevated him to stardom in Major League Baseball, but his human spirit was challenged in April '07. The infamous attacks on the campus of Virginia Tech had chilled everyone on the 16th of that month. David's younger brother, Stephen, was an engineering student and attended most of his classes in Norris Hall. His whereabouts were unknown, and those hours of waiting for news were unnerving.
Well, for me, I always remember the day. We were in Philadelphia. I woke up and, saw the news, and obviously your first thought goes out to, your brother who's in the engineering program that, had some classes in that building. And, the frustrating part was not being able to get a hold, obviously, with probably all the, communication, cell phone things going back and forth. On campus, it's tough to get a hold of him. But fortunately, for me, my parents got a hold of him later in the day. So, but still, I mean, just a terrible tragedy, and something that it goes without saying should never happen. And your heart's really, even to this day, I'm a big Virginia Tech fan. I go up to some football games, and just to walk by that memorial and just see the building. I mean, it's something that obviously should be avoided, and your heart just goes out to those families that lost loved ones.